This program is rated PG. It contains themes and scenes which may not be suitable for very young audiences. Parental guidance is advised.
Be advised that the views and opinions of the hosts and guests do not reflect those of the station.
FPUA is my trusted partner.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Global Village. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Now, you know, folks, on this show, it's all about international friendship and relations. And we take you around the world, you visit amazing places, and meet interesting people. We also talk about topics and issues that impact the global community. Now, on this show tonight, we're talking about Philippines friendship, and we're talking about collaboration between Philippines and France in bringing development to grassroots communities all over the country and to improve society. And join me tonight is the executive director of a wonderful NGO doing tremendous work in this regard. This is the France-Philippines United Action Foundation Incorporated, led by the lovely executive director of the foundation, Elodie Turpin. Elodie, welcome to Global Village.
Thank you, Buddy.
And you know, it's nice to have you here again because number one, I'm a big fan of FPUA and the wonderful work that you guys are doing. Congratulations and thank you so much. And it's been over a year since you were a guest here, and it's nice to have this kind of update, to kind of catch up on what you guys are doing. And as I mentioned, tremendous work and a lot of big changes this year. I understand, no? Now, before we jump into that, let's talk about you first. Who is Elodie Turpin? What brought you to the Philippines?
Well, I've been in the Philippines since now almost 5 years. I did several things before starting at the France-Philippines United Action. Well, I'm here maybe for love reason.
Very good,
initially,
very good. That's
and
the best reason.
Then I found I mean, the work that I'm doing right now that I'm really passionate about, and which probably will make me stay longer.
Were you involved in development work prior to coming to the Philippines? Has it been something really in your DNA, in your career DNA?
Well, actually, not really. I've been very interested about international developments since my studies back in France. But I have a master in archaeology, so very different.
Interesting.
Yes, and I have another master in disaster risk reduction management.
Wow.
So that's actually one of the reasons I ended up in the Philippines, because you have to do an internship. And then, well, the Philippines is unfortunately one of the best places to study disaster management.
I was going to say that. I mean, you are in the ground zero for
Yes.
DRRM.
Exactly. That was actually, I did my internship just 1 year before Haiyan. So, I mean, that was very interesting.
And you know, with your work now, we're going to jump into what is FPUA all about.
Yes.
It must be very helpful, and you know, it must contribute a lot to your background, since you do have a master's degree in disaster risk reduction management.
Yes, definitely.
DRRM, no?
Definitely. I think that's actually what brought me to FPUA was definitely my study in DRM. But then following that, I actually worked for the French government in a study about the response of the French and Franco-Philippines NGOs to Typhoon Haiyan. So I got to travel around the country here and then interviewed NGOs that did work after the typhoon, also communities that were affected and received the help through various programs. And following that, I actually wanted to continue in this field, but you know how hard it is to find a job here in the Philippines.
It's very specialized, especially in your line. You know, it really is a very specialized field, no? I mean, it's not like there are a lot of these groups operating.
No, not really. And well, in France we have some masters in international development, but that's actually not what I chose. Previously, I wanted to really be in the disaster management field. But then eventually, I think by meeting communities that were affected, I wanted to do more. And then with my current job at the foundation, that helped me, and I actually helped those communities in providing various programs.
Very good, very good. Okay, let's talk about FPUA. It's not a new organization. I mean, it's not an old organization. I understand that it started in the aftermath of Typhoon Haiyan.
Yeah.
Walk us through its inception. What brought this group together, and who were the stakeholders that really came together to form this NGO FPUA?
So everything started after the typhoon. Actually, a few days after Haiyan, the French companies, the French embassy, the French Chamber of Commerce reunited together in deciding what can we do to help the victims. And at that time, there were actually French businesses that were both in France but also in the Philippines who actually wanted to help, but they didn't know to whom can we donate, to whom organization can we work with. So that's why the French Chamber and the French Embassy decided to set up it's like a platform for communication and coordination to help those French donors in their rehabilitation efforts to the victims. So that's how everything started, basically. At that time, there were big multinational, I mean, French, mostly French companies, and then we decided to build permanent houses so it would be sustainable, and this happened in northern Cebu.
Oh, very good. And you know, I can relate to what happened during Typhoon Haiyan and the quandary that a lot of donors had, because back then, you know, obviously we all know the story. It was the horrendous disaster that happened after Haiyan, and the support from the international community was really there. But there was really a big question: how do we send the help? How do we contribute? And then who are the proper agencies or offices? And of course, you know, a lot of these companies, they want to give money, and they want to make sure that their money is being put to good use and really where it's supposed to go, no? And so it's wonderful that this platform was created.
Yeah.
And okay, so a platform was created. What was the immediate result of that? I mean, did the French companies immediately have an avenue now to help? Did it make a difference?
Well, it definitely made a difference, because by building sustainable housing, we didn't want to give just shelters. Like the idea was to also use the French technologies in building houses that are permanent and where people could feel safe. So three rehabilitation sites were built in the northern part of Cebu. So maybe you might wonder why Cebu
Yes,
because
yes, why Cebu?
the affected areas were mostly Samar, Leyte.
Leyte,
Yeah,
yes.
but the typhoon actually, the pass passed through the northern part of Cebu, and there was one landfall in Bantayan Island. So the northern Cebu was very much affected, especially in terms of infrastructure. In this municipality of Dan Bantayan, there were 9 houses out of 10 that were completely destroyed.
Wow.
So you can imagine the disaster there. And so
Yes.
there was a need for infrastructure. And one of our partner company at that time had a plant in Cebu. So in terms of logistics,
It was much easier.
Exactly.
you
So
know.
that was one of the reasons why Cebu was chosen as a location for the rehabilitation site. And of course, I think the relationship with the local government made us decided that this will be the place where we are going to provide homes to the victims.
And I'm so glad that you guys focused on Cebu because I mean all the attention was really Leyte and with good cause, no? Because Leyte was really pummeled, really pulverized. But I mean I'm glad that other groups focus on the other areas that people perhaps were not aware of you know the devastation also happened in those places. So bravo for that. How when you talk about a response, when FPUA was formed, did the French companies, I mean, immediately come in? What was the response like in building these communities? Who were the players that got involved? Was it the French community really solid and coming together to help this Daang Bantayan communities?
Actually, everything started with the French business community. Basically, this is an initiative from the French business community, then set up by the embassy and the French chamber. But without the wishes of the community to actually help the Filipinos, this FPA would have never been set up.
Bravo, bravo.
So there were a few main major companies at the very beginning, and they all had the vision of making sustainable programs, and not necessary to make it permanent. I mean, FPU at the time was just a temporary
kind of like an ad hoc,
Exactly.
just to address the problem of where should we
Exactly.
put the money or where should we put the aid, no?
Exactly, that's correct. So at that time, in 2013 to early 2014, FPA was not supposed to last. But then eventually, because we were just
Yes,
created
yes.
after the typhoon to really
Yes.
help for that specific disaster. But then
Yes.
eventually, the French president actually visited the country in 2015. At that time, the houses were ongoing construction because building more than 200 houses takes actually months. And so when he visited the country 1 year and a half after the Typhoon Haiyan, then he was informed about the effort of the French business community, and he was actually told by his envoy for the climate, who visited a few weeks before, that visited the sites with the representative of FPUA and the companies that participated. Then he actually, during a lunch with the Makati Business Club, decided that, okay, I'm going to help you so you can set up a real foundation and continue your program on the long term.
Very good. So it really all came together to create this wonderful NGO
Yes.
called French-Philippine United Action. Okay, let's talk about quickly. Let's just mention some of the anchors who really put this, the corporate, from the private sector, who really came together to set up FPUA. After Haiyan, who were the big companies, big French companies who were really instrumental in making this happen?
Well, so there were Lafarge. Lafarge, who is today
Very good.
doesn't exist anymore in the Philippines, but Lafarge was one of the main players in setting up FPUA. At that time, the CEO of Lafarge was actually the one heading all the meetings
Wow.
with the other company and the chamber and the embassy. There was Total, obviously. Total was also there. We had Sanofi.
Pharmaceuticals?
Yeah, they
Yes.
wanted to provide health care to the victims.
Very good.
And then there was a lot of companies that actually wanted to also contribute. So sometimes in different ways, sometimes in helping through setting up electricity in the site. So we had a French NGO named Electricians Without Borders who came along and that put up solar panels.
Very nice.
So
very
there was
nice.
very different players from various industries.
How about from the small, the small guys? About I mean, okay, you mentioned the big
Yeah.
corporates? What about from the small to medium-sized companies or maybe private French businessmen, French people based here? How was the support from them, from the community?
Actually, because I think the fact that those really major players were there, then of course the smaller one wanted also to participate. And after such a disaster like Haiyan, everyone wants on his own way to contribute a little.
Sure.
The amount of money doesn't anymore matter. It's really helping the people.
Absolutely.
And so there were even individuals, actually, Filipino businessmen actually contributed to FPUA at the time. Maybe also the communication was good, and we had very good support from the embassy. That definitely helped.
Yes, very good, very good. Okay, and I'm also happy that it's continued, because a lot of times when donors do give money for a project or a project is established, it's a one-shot deal, and then you don't see any follow-up, and somehow it kind of meets, sad to say, meets its natural death. But in your case, you've actually continued even supporting, developing the communities you established in Daang Bantayan. And I'm glad also you mentioned that you've, the thing about solar panels, installing solar panels, is that a thrust that you guys are doing in your communities in Daang Bantayan, focusing on renewables and making it, sustainable and eco-friendly?
Well, definitely we want to be able to provide renewable energies to the site, and then if we have partners that are willing to help and to contribute, then for sure we will do. We'll find more solutions for the communities. So the solar panels are one of them, and this was implemented in one of the 3 sites. But then hopefully the other sites could actually receive. Actually,
Yes.
now that I'm thinking about our last rehabilitation site, received a street solar panel from Schneider, the French company, who donated in kind
Very good.
the material.
And I'm glad you're going the solar route, no? Because to make a community disaster resilient, one of the ways you do it is really make it, even if a big storm comes and you're cut off from the grid, that life, basic services will go on. Power, water, right? And
Exactly.
that adds to security and all that.
Exactly. Actually, when we build site, we think of, well, our sites are not just villages. They are disaster resilient villages.
Bravo.
Because the houses that FPUA built follow the specific design. I mean, if you visit our website, you will find pictures of the houses. We call that a high power design, and this allow the houses to be steady and resistant to typhoon until
Wow.
230
Very
kilometers
good.
per hour,
Very
and
good.
earthquake intensity 8. So we wanted to also make the people safer, because I think the trauma after the typhoon was to find a place where they can feel safe, basically.
Very good. LED, your work here with FPUA and disaster risk management and all that, this is excellent material for your doctorate after this, no?
Maybe.
Okay. FPUA, since Haiyan, couple years have gone by, and it's kind of morphed now into something else. No? You started with your Daang Bantayan communities. I understand now that you've transformed yourself into a platform to reach even a bigger audience, bigger help to other communities. Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, so basically the first years at the foundation were helping the victims of Typhoon Haiyan. So that's why we built housing rehabilitation sites.
Yeah.
Then we noticed that, like in any type of disaster, the help is there at the very beginning, but then after a few years,
Exactly.
well, unfortunately, I mean, in the world there are other disasters, there are other populations that need help, so companies will
It's
also
natural.
focus on them, which
Yeah.
is completely normal.
Yep.
So we also had to think about how can we transform ourselves to continue having support from those business communities, not necessarily just French, but also Philippine communities here. And after, I think, a couple of meeting with corporate partners, we also noticed that they're having challenges in putting up corporate social responsibility programs.
Absolutely.
Sometimes they have a good idea of what they want to do, but finding the right partner to basically implement this program, it can be difficult. And that's where we decided that FPUA, we have the strengths of having a good network of NGOs through our partnership with the French Embassy, but also, through our various partners in the Philippines. Then we also have a good corporate network. So we are thinking, why not trying to align both? So today we decided that FPUA will continue helping the communities in Cebu, that is for sure.
Sure.
But we also want to be able to serve as a bridge between the business communities and the NGOs slash communities, local government units, basically. So today, companies come to us because they have some specific advocacies. For example, they want to have a program in health, but they don't know which communities is in need, which NGO can we partner with, because I'm not sure if you're aware, but CSR is more and more being developed in the Philippines.
Absolutely.
However, companies do not have necessarily a CSR department.
I was
It's
gonna
a task given.
That was my next question actually. You see, I put my notes. It says no CSR department because so this is really a tremendous help for companies who don't have experience in CSR. They have no CSR point person or maybe manager, or as you said, no CSR department. So this is where you guys come in. You kind of like they kind of like outsource their CSR.
Yeah, it's
to you.
actually that. It's
Yeah.
actually it's like outsourcing their CSR. We are helping companies who do not have actually this CSR department to come to us, and so we can develop for them programs that are in line with their strategy, their mission, vision.
Fantastic.
And then we look for communities and NGOs can implement. So that's why we basically, in terms of advocacies, we are very broad. I mean, from health, education, nutrition, environment. As long as it's always to help the disadvantaged communities, for us it makes sense. And then we work with NGOs that are on the field, that are trusted NGOs. Could be everywhere in the Philippines, and so we link them.
So FPUA has really grown so much bigger from when it's first started. I mean, the mere fact you mentioned that I mean, all these other areas of interest and help that you're now involved in, has the organization also grown? I mean, how big is FPUA today?
Well, FPUA is still, I would say, small in terms of people.
How many
working.
are you in the office?
It's just me, but I have the chance that I have wonderful.
I'm sorry, just
it's
you
just
and-
me.
Just you.
It's just me.
Unreal.
But I have the chance.
You're Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
Wow.
but I have the support of a board members. That's very strong. I mean, I'm never really feeling alone in the office. I mean, if I have any problem, my board members are around. They have really good advice. They have really good ideas, and they are very involved. You know, it's something that I think we can be grateful of. It's
Yes.
FPUA is not just an executive director. It's the whole board of directors that is actually very involved. And then
Yes.
aside of that,
But you're the only one who's full time.
yes, correct.
That's a lot of work.
But aside of that, I have the chance to find really good interns,
Yes, yes.
assistants that
Okay.
help me throughout the year. It gives them experience for the study, and at the same time, they help a lot. So never really alone, though.
Very good,
On the
very
paper,
good.
it's me, but I'm never really alone.
Very good, very lots of friends. Very good. That's how we do. That's how we like to do it. And it's nice. I mentioned before we stop for a break when you mentioned interns. It's nice because these are young people. They're fired up, idealistic, and they want to make an impact, difference, and all that. And
Yeah.
it's a force multiplier. Force
Exactly.
multiplier. All right. So guys, stick around because we have pause for a break. When we come back, we're going to meet a project partner of FPUA. It's a company called Air Liquide Philippines. So stay tuned because more French-Philippine friendship and cooperation when Global Village returns.
Sa wala pa magbagyo ang Yolanda, dito binamuyo sa baybay.
Nung wala pa ang bagyo, masaya kami ng aking pamilya. Lagi kami nagtatawanan.
Yung natanggap kong lupa na binigay sa akin ng ina, bininta po namin kasi upang makapagtayo ng sariling bahay. Tapos nung pagdating ng bagyo, nasasaktan po talaga ako kasi nawalan na ako ng lupa. Kasi yun sana ang ibigay ko sa mga anak ko, ang bahay, nawala.
Pagka human sa bagyo nga Yolanda, nagguba ang among balay.
Ang hangin at kusog kaisanan, kusog ang uwan. Ay gipantog ng mga bata. Nasira ang namin, bahay namin.
Kunya pagkaguba sa among balay, moto naglibog ko sa among puyan kay na wala man mo bahay, nagubas bagyo.
Unya, ang balay wala na. So nag-hold jud mi atong higayon na ya.
Nung parating na ang bagyo, pumunta kami ng sitiyo, iwas disgrasya kami.
Kami atong time dito rami sa sud sa among balay. Wala gyud mi nang gawas kay nang lupad namang sin. Nya nangabuak na ang mga kuan, mga jealousy. Ang among gibuhat ato ang higdaan na namo among giali. Giali namo sa among pamilya kay aron depensa lang nga dili mi maigo.
Pagkatapos ng bagyo, pumunta ako sa aming bahay. Pagkatapos ng pagkawan ng pagtanaw sa akong balay, haligi naman lang ako nakitaan. So, nagahilak ako ato.
Naghimo ko og gamay nga payag para sa kapuy-an sa akong pamilya. Nga gamay lang nga mga guba nga mga plywood.
May mga taong dumating doon sa amin, tapos sinabihan kami na pag mayroon mga bahay na pang sa amin.
Nung nakaibaw may ato na kuan, nanay ipatrabaho sa taga-France, nagpasalamat mugdako.
Malipayon kay ko nga nakadawat ko, naapil ko sa usa nga beneficiaryo ni ani nga babae.
Tinulungan kami, binigyan kami ng libreng bahay. Ang yung para pangbili namin ng pang-ayos ng bahay namin sa nagiba ng Yolanda, aming pinupundar para sa puhunan, additional namin para sa kapital sa pamimili ng isda.
Nung natanggap namin itong bahay at lupa, na-realize ko siguro blessing. Tapos nang natanggap namin itong bahay, nakapagtrabaho din ako.
Welcome back, folks, to Global Village. I'm Buddy Cunanan. Tonight is all about French-Philippines cooperation in development and societal improvement. And joining us still is Elodie Turpan, and she is the Executive Director of France-Philippines United Action. Joining her is Attorney Katrina Nicdao, and she is the Manager, Corporate Affairs and Legal of a wonderful company called Air Liquide Philippines. Welcome back, Elodie, and of course, Katrina.
Hi, Buddy.
let's talk about you, Katrina. Who is Katrina Nicdao?
I'm the manager
Yes,
for
of-
legal and corporate affairs, so I handle both legal matters and CSR, which is also under the umbrella of corporate affairs.
Yes.
So this includes media relations as
Oh,
well.
interesting. How long have you been involved in this field?
In this field,
Yes.
oil and gas, I would say 7 years. So before joining Air Liquide, I was part also of an oil company here in the Philippines.
Very good,
So-
very good. And now you're with Air Liquide Philippines, and I'm looking at your calling card. Very interesting. It says Creative Oxygen.
That's right. That's right.
Walk us through the background of your company, what you guys do. I mean, we showed the video of the international activities of Air Liquide, and it looks like a massive monster company.
That's right. So Air Liquide is a French company with global presence. So we're in over 80 countries worldwide, serving more than 3.5 million customers worldwide. So when we say creative oxygen, it means that we've started with our essential molecule, the oxygen, but through innovation, the creativeness of our experts, of our employees, we've expanded and offered more than oxygen. So we've offered solutions. Since 1902, we've been delivering technologies and solutions to the different industries.
Wow,
So this
okay.
includes healthcare,
Yeah.
engineering, shipping, food and beverage, oil and gas. So Air Liquide is all over.
Yes.
Yeah.
But initially, when it was formed in France over 100 years ago,
That's right.
what was the core business of Air Liquide?
That would be oxygen.
Really, but oxygen in what sense? When you say, what was the basic product back then when it was founded?
That would be oxygen.
No, but,
So we
but in what,
deliver-
in what application?
Oh, different applications
Yes.
as well. So for example, we do deliver in cylinders or pipelines or what we call on-site.
This is back then. This is how you started.
That's
Yeah.
right, that's right. So eventually we developed and now we're introducing other solutions like wastewater management.
Wow.
So using oxygen and nitrogen, for example, carbon dioxide.
Yes, and of course the company has grown with advanced technology. You found
right.
really a use for, as you mentioned, creative oxygen.
That's right, that's
Yeah.
right. So in the Philippines, we're over 20 years here.
All right.
We're serving more than 400 customers. And when we say customers, it means business to business. So mostly in electronics, healthcare, and engineering.
Very good, very good. And how big is the company in the Philippines?
That would be, say, 260 employees in over 20 facilities nationwide.
That's amazing. Okay. Your CSR project, you are a project partner of FPUA
That's right.
in the Cebu project specifically. But tell us a bit about the company's CSR thrust in general, you know, from a broad perspective. Because I understand, aside from your local CSR projects, you've also got in France. There's
That's
also the Air Liquide Foundation,
That's right.
which carries out projects on an international level.
That's right. So Air Liquide is committed to being the leader in its industry and delivering long-term performance and sustainability. So that's where CSR comes in. So through Air Liquide Foundation based in France and through our own CSR activities here in the Philippines, we help develop communities through education, environment, community welfare, and sciences. So these are the 4 pillars
Okay.
where Air Liquide Foundation and Air Liquide Philippines are aligned. So with the FPUA, what we have currently are projects on education and environment.
But interesting, because I was talking to LOD earlier, and their job has really morphed from being, you know, they came in during Typhoon Haiyan after, and they set up these communities in northern Cebu, and it's since then morphed into a provider, like a link between corporates who want to do CSR and the end user, basically, no? But you guys already have a CSR, you have a foundation in France, and a CSR, did you have a CSR department before you linked up with them?
No.
Oh,
It is
okay.
only this year
Yeah.
that we have a CSR team here in the Philippines. So from a general perspective
Yes.
handled by Air Liquide Foundation, we now delve into the local perspective. That's why it's only this year that we're actually focusing on our local communities, what we call the host communities.
Prior to your the local engagement here,
Yes.
did Air Liquide in France, did it have any projects in the Philippines already?
Yes. So mostly are also based in Cebu.
Oh,
So
okay.
we send scholars through
What is the
other
connection with Cebu?
NGO. Well,
Coincidence?
also because we have a facility in Cebu.
Oh, okay, all right.
So also with other NGO French companies. So we have scholars there. We also help build houses. We've donated computers for science projects,
Yes.
science experiments. So, yeah.
This is from Air Liquide France, the foundation
That's
itself.
right,
Okay.
that's right.
Why did you choose to work with FPUA? What was the strategic synergy that you wanted to happen that brought you two together?
Yeah, basically we share the same values and vision. So the vision of helping locals develop and the values of commitment, transformation, continuous improvement. And besides, we have French connections.
For sure, yes.
Yeah.
yes.
So FPUA has well-established activities, and with its vast network, we're sure that all our projects will be put into completion. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Elodie, how are you guys working? Tell us a bit about the project you guys are working on together in Cebu, or is it all in Cebu, or are you branching out to other places with Air Liquide?
So with Air Liquide, we have a current educational scholarship program for 15 children in our communities in Bantayan. So Air Liquide is sponsoring a few students there. So to give them access to quality education. This program actually was initiated last year. And this year, since Air Liquide has initiated their CSR programs here in the Philippines through the Air Liquide Philippines company, then they wanted to be involved. So they are sponsoring five of our children. And this is actually what we also like with this partnership with Air Liquide. It's a commitment. It's not just a one-time sponsorship.
Yes.
They will commit until that the children are graduated.
Oh,
so
very good.
That's actually what we are looking for. We are looking for long-term partnerships. So what we have right now with Air Liquide is actually a really perfect example of what FPUA wants. We want sustainability, long-term partnership. And then aside of that, we are also actually developing other projects for Air Liquide. We will have actually this coming November an environmental activity in Mount Arayat, so close to Metro Manila,
Nice, okay.
which will engage the employees of Air Liquide. So this is going to be something different because the program in Cebu, it's like going to be for a few years.
Yes.
This program, it's more like a one-time project, which would be replicated to be able to involve all the employees of the company.
That's right.
What's going to happen there, Katrina, in the Mount Arayat activity that you guys are planning? How exactly will you engage the employees of Air Liquide Philippines?
There are a number of, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, how do you get them more involved? And is the thrust of this to get them, because from the top corporate level, of course, there are CSR projects, but a lot of times the people down the line don't really feel that, there's no connect, emotional or otherwise, between the rank and file and right?
Yes,
and the projects that the company is helping. So how are you guys going to get them involved? Which I think is a wonderful thing.
Yes. So what we do is get their insights. You'll be surprised that some employees are actually college volunteers. They have their own personal or family engagement with the local communities. So by publishing a list of activities for the year, for example, then they get to know the timeline or their interest on which activities to join. So our employees are actually helping us develop the activities.
That's nice, huh?
Yes. So not only for environment.
Wow. Collaborative.
That's right.
Wonderful.
So we have what we call a CSR team. So this group of employees from the different departments, from operations, from sales. So very collaborative, different ideas.
No, wonderful.
That's
Jeez.
right. Yeah.
Is this a new concept? I mean, is this something that you guys just put together?
Yes,
put your
just
heads
this
together
year.
and said, let's do it, and because it's a very new concept. And,
That's right.
And I have to say something. I think a lot of companies put emphasis in team building, which I think is useless because it doesn't really create.
Not
it's
really,
for
it
decor.
helps.
No, but compared to things like this, no.
yes,
I mean, this kind of collaborative where there's this emotional buy-in as well, and intellectual and emotional buy-in,
Yes.
as opposed to you go canoeing someplace. I mean,
Yes.
this is really, it hits the heart and the mind together.
And there's a sense of ownership.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yes. So, and we also we allow actually the employees to bring in some family members during activities. So it's also a bonding for them, and it's an opportunity for those who really want to help the community express their commitment to the society by engaging in these kinds of activities.
What kind of projects, because when you say you want to harness their ideas and their
Yes.
thoughts and suggestions and their
Yes.
creative juices, what kind of activities are you planning, or what kind of projects are you going to put their energies on, basically?
Yes. So basically, Early Kid is a company of experts in the science field. So what we do, for example, what we've done before
Yeah.
is to bring students or teachers to our plants, our facilities, and we conduct science tours there, and our experts actually conduct lectures on gases, their applications, solutions that we can offer. And we're actually also now engaged with a public school also in Pasig, where our main plant is. And through their science experiments, which we help harness, we also bring them to the science museums. So where our experts also give lectures
Yes.
and inspirational talks.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, what is the role, Elodie, of FPUA here in the team building? No, I don't call it team building. In the project, in the Araya
Environmental,
project, in the
yeah.
environment project of Air Liquide.
Well, basically, we really serve as a bridge for Early Kid, because Early Kid, like for the environmental program, they reached out to, Katrina reached out to me. She was looking for an environmental program where she can involve her employees, and then something related to tree planting. But instead of doing the regular tree planting, I wanted to offer something a bit different. So I actually contacted my network of NGOs that are into environment and requested, what are your programs, and what can you create something a bit more different, a bit more creative for a company that might be interested. And so actually one of them had this EcoTrek tree planting program, which I suggested to Katrina, and she was thrilled about the idea. However, Mount Harayat is a protected area,
It is, yes.
so you cannot bring more than 50 people at a time, which actually it's good. So at first, Air Liquide wanted to have actually a bigger number of employees to be involved, but what they are going to do is they're going to replicate the same activities several times, so all employees would have the chance to participate
So
in a
in
similar
batches.
activity. Yeah,
Yes.
batches, but in different areas of the place, because they will be planting tree, right?
Yes,
So
yes.
basically the farmers there, the local community will be the one monitoring on the site the growing, and then when the next batch would go, then they can see already the work that was done, and then we'll continue on the other side. So it's like something sustainable, like the educational program. Though it's going to be a one-day activity, it's a one-day activity that will be replicated several times.
Are you planning to make this part of the regular corporate, like a regular corporate exercise?
That's right. So part of our core activities would be an environment.
Yes.
Basically to help develop air quality in the Philippines. So
Yes.
that's one. Also, because most of our employees now are millennials, so they're more into more exciting activities like this.
Or something to challenge their
That's
minds
right,
and
that's
make an
right.
impact. There you go.
That's
I
right.
said it again, make an impact. It's a millennial thing. Make an
Yes.
impact.
Yeah.
What is the reception? So you haven't carried out this project yet. You're going to do it for the first time on
November 10.
Yes.
November 10. Which is a few days away.
That's right.
What has the reception been like from the employees? Of course, you've disseminated information. We're
Yes.
having this special collaborative. It's not going to be, it's going to be something. It's going to be work. It's going to be work. A little bit of work, no?
That's right.
What has the reception been? Are they excited and
The
interested?
200 employees wanted to join.
Oh wow!
One
okay.
time.
There is faith in humanity after
That's
all.
right,
There
that's
you
right.
go. Good, good, good.
So this is something new to them, something exciting, and something that creates impact. So we want continuous improvement. That's part of our culture in Air Liquide. So I think that's why employees are dragged into this, because of that continuous improvement thing, the
Yes.
commitment to carry this out.
Do you view this as sort of a quasi, again, I'll say, team building? It could be, no?
It
like
could
a
be.
quasi team building activity. No?
It could be. And when we expand, and this can also be a family bonding time for them.
Yes.
We can do it on a weekend, and that would be all right.
And it's wonderful because it gives also a sense of pride to the employee and a stake in the CSR projects of the company. It gives them an emotional connect,
That's
which I
right.
think is a way of making it sustainable.
That's right.
And it's also a force multiplier because now you have more followers engaged in your advocacies, not just you guys in HR maybe or corporate affairs. No? Elodie, are you thinking of marketing this to other companies? Because I think it's a novel approach, and I think other companies will see great benefit in this.
Actually, we offer companies to contact us basically for whatever advocacies they have, and they would want programs to be created, because the strength of FPUA today is that we have the capacity to create tailor-made programs for them. Look, that's what happened with Early Kid, but other companies that want a program in the environment that actually would be different than what we're doing with Early Kid, but we can create programs in line with what they want in health. I mean, a few weeks ago, we had a program with the Philippine companies who wanted a nutrition activity. And so we did it in a school in Cavite for promoting good nutrition, good hygiene, awareness to more than 200 pupils.
Yeah.
So we are it's really our strength, creating tailor-made programs. So companies who are looking into CSR activities, but because it's hard to find the right community, it's hard to find the right partner. So that's where we
the
can
creativity that you guys bring in, no? Because I think a lot of, like you said, 200 people signed up for this activity, no? And I think a lot of employees want to get involved, but I guess they're just bored with the usual, the run-of-the-mill, and you know what I'm talking about, the run-of-the-mill corporate program where maybe you just do some simple tree planting, that's it.
Yes.
Right? Who wants to do that, right? People now want to be challenged. They want to be, make an impact, so to speak. Lovely. All right. Ladies, so much to talk about, but we've come to the end of the show. Maybe last 1 minute, they're queuing me. Before we go, messages. Let's have a message first from Early Kid.
So thank you for having us here today. So Air Liquide is here to bring you not only molecules but solutions, and you are rest assured that we are doing this also for our commitment to the local communities.
Bravo. And Elodie?
Well, NGOs here in the Philippines have really great programs that are not necessarily well communicated, and that's where we can help you companies in developing corporate social responsibility projects by linking you with the right organization and the right community in need. So just approach us. You can contact us through our website, and we'll be very happy to assist you.
The best way to contact is the website or social media as well?
Both. We are very active in social media, Facebook, LinkedIn. We are also always, on our website, obviously. You can contact us through our email address at info@fpua.org.ph. Then you are sure that we'll reply very quickly.
Very good, very good. Ladies, I'm so happy for you, for Air Liquide and this collaboration with
Yes.
FPUA. Very, very exciting times ahead. And I wish you luck on your November 10 activity. And can outsiders come?
Can outsiders? Wait, it's 50 limited.
Oh, 50,
because
okay,
it's
okay.
a protected area.
I'll join the next
so
batch.
next
Yes.
batch.
All right.
Yes, please.
Okay,
You're welcome
okay.
to join.
Thank you so much, and good luck. And again, bravo for the good work you ladies are doing. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you.
Guys, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show on Philippines-France Collaboration and Friendship, centering on Philippines-France United Action Foundation, incorporated, and of course, their partner, Air Liquide Philippines. Join us again next week here in Global Village, and let us take you around the world. Till then, you all have a good evening.